Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, we're going to start off right away in the interest of time and to respect the time of colleagues who joined earlier. So I'll go ahead and share my screen to walk us through um, our guest list, but also what the rollout for today or the agenda for today would look like. So, can you see my screen, please? Can anyone confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, this is what the order of today is going to look like. We're going to welcome and introduce our guests. And on the part of participants, please kindly introduce yourself in the chat and also let us know where you're joining us from. We would walk you through the objectives of Career Chat with Nangla, and then we would introduce our guests, then take you through today's discussion outline, and then we will get directly into today's conversations. So very briefly, Career Chat with Nangla is a dynamic online platform which is dedicated to helping individuals overcome career-related challenges through engaging monthly webinars like that which we're having today. So for each of our sessions, we try as much as we can to connect participants with guests who come from diverse or who are experienced with diverse professional background and in different fields. So through interactive questions and answer sessions, participants are also able to get tailored guidance and support through their professional growth. So this session, like you would have noticed, is recorded, and the recordings of the sessions are often shared with participants right after the end. So in the chat, we'll be sharing with you the link to a WhatsApp group, which if you would be liking to get the recordings and also the presentations, please join the WhatsApp group once Mildred drops in the chat box. And then finally, at the Career Chat with Nangla, careers are being shaped, we build connections, and then this is where growth literally never stops. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, to indicate that interpretation is available. So I guess on your screen, you'll be able to see the globe sign to the right bottom corner of your screen. So if you're French speaking, you can click on that and choose the French language, and you will be getting interpretation from English into French. And if you're rather English speaking, I guess all our guests are English speaking, so you will be able to get the message across. So again, I guess a lot of us would have seen this flyer. This is an opportunity to thank our guests for accepting to be part of us today and to share their wealth of experience with us through today's webinar. We also want to use this opportunity to thank all our partners who continue to partner with us as we implement these webinars. So I would go right ahead to introducing our guests for today. So the first, in no order anyway, so the first we have right here is Patience Gwenjang, who's a law, governance, and gender expert with 15 plus years of experience. She founded and leads research and advocacy for gender justice. She has 17 awards, 10 international and 7 national, and a portfolio of postgraduate qualifications. She's a Chevening Scholar with a master's degree in law, development, and globalization from SOAS University of London. She studied public management at the University of Minnesota, USA, as a Mandela Washington Fellow. She's a 5-time graduate and research fellow of the Coady Institute, Canada. Her publications examine law, constitutionalism, governance, gender justice, and peace building. Moving to our next guest is Kembete Kwa, who's a development professional with over a decade of enduring experience leading the conception, design, planning, effective implementation, rigorous monitoring and evaluation of sustainable projects and programs in Cameroon and across Africa. He is the executive director of Nkwafo Change Solutions, alumni of Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders. His work aimed at significant contribution to human potential development, nation building, and fostering a sustainable planet Earth, which has been recognized by local and international institutions, including featured in the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP 2015 report. He's recognized as a green champion, awarded for exemplary servant leadership and mentorship by the U.S. Ambassador to Cameroon, and awarded the Cameroon Heroes Award for dedication to youth empowerment in Cameroon and across Africa. Our next guest is Dr. Monique Kwachou. Dr. Monique Kwachou is a Cameroonian writer, scholar, advocate, and development practitioner with over a decade of experience working with various higher institutions or higher education institutions, civil society organizations, and international non-governmental organizations in and out of Cameroon, as well as electric biography of published poetry, academic research, short fiction, and creative nonfiction essays. She was a 2014 Chevening Scholar. Now, moving on to our next guest, she's Ambe Mildred. Ambe Mildred is a dedicated professional serving as a sponsorship and data processor, safeguarding focal point and gender focal point for Plan International Cameroon in Betwa. She has professional capacity. She is committed to the protection and empowerment of children, with a special focus on gender equality and data integrity. Beyond her work, Mildred is a passionate activist for vulnerable girls. Her commitment to both professional and social advocacy is further highlighted by her dedication as a 2-time Chevening Scholarship applicant, demonstrating her drive for advanced leadership and development. So this will be our rollout for our presentations. First, we're going to kickstart with a background to the Chevening program. Our guests will be working you through preparing and applying for Chevening, that's the do's and don'ts. We would also be benefiting from the experiences, their experiences during the program, their high and low moments. And from there, we would move directly into short stories of resilience amidst constant rejection. And we will be opening the floor from here for questions and answers, and then final words of encouragement and parting shots from our guests. So again, please feel comfortable to drop your questions in the chat so that we can later on go through your questions one after another. So again, thank you very much for joining us today, and many thanks to our guests for accepting to be part of today's session. So I would go ahead Dr. Monique, are you in? We're about to start off with your session.
All right then. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, you can't see all the participants' faces, but I hope I am clear. I hope I am visible. And Marita, can you please share I can't see the screen, the slides, sorry.
Okay, right away.
All right. Um, I can see people coming in from Bamenda, from Douala, Seraphine, Aminatu, Alvin, yeah, from Boya. Okay. Nice to meet you all. So I'm just going to give a kind of brief introduction to the background because I don't think you all need to know like the whole history of the fellowship. But you do need to know one important thing that I think everyone that's applying for Chevening needs to have in mind, needs to bear in mind when they're applying. So you say you want to become a Chevening fellow, you want to become a Chevener. Why do you want to become a Chevener? Whenever I'm working with people on their applications, they're typically like, oh, I want to study abroad. I want to study in the UK. And that's fine. That's a valid reason for you. But just as you know why you want to become a Chevener, do you know why the Chevening Fellowship exists to make Cheveners? So Marita, please can you go to the next slide? And I would note that the next, because that was actually for this, what I was saying. So I would note that, I would note that for the first thing that we need to consider is their why. You already know why you want to be, but you need to understand the person that's giving you money. Because that is the person that's giving you money. Why do they want to give you money? Is it that you're just so nice and charitable? Not so much. It's strategic. The Chevening Scholarship was established in 1983 by the Foreign and Commonwealth Office as an award scheme. It's not the only one. There is the Commonwealth Scholarship. There is the Commonwealth Shared Scholarship. There's the Commonwealth Distance Learning Scholarship. Each of these are different based on where the money is coming from and the purpose for which it serves. So Commonwealth Scholarship, for example, the money is coming from basically the Commonwealth. So it's members of the Commonwealth that can benefit. Yes, strictly members of the Commonwealth that can benefit. And these are former colonies of Britain. And the money is there, it's under the Crown. And for that reason, the Commonwealth Scholarship actually has more money. I only found out when I was already a scholar. It has more money than Chevening. But it has, they look particularly for those that are the brightest of students. So for the Commonwealth Scholarship, for example, they will consider your GPA. For Chevening, they don't. Yes, you need to pass, but it's not as competitive in GPA as the Commonwealth. On the other hand, though, Chevening is there for a reason. They are building a lasting relationship with future leaders and decision makers. It's kind of like sowing the seeds it's an investment in the future of a country, knowing that once you get to a particular position of power, we'll be able to say that we invested in you. And that's the same thing for something like Fulbright, which is it's a similar program, but American. So you might have heard severally people introduce Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former president of Liberia, the first female president, I think, in Africa. And every time she's introduced as a Fulbright scholar because she did do graduate studies on a Fulbright scholarship. It's the same thing when this is seen as a way of investing in people that will become change makers tomorrow. And because the crown, well, in this case, not the crown, but the Foreign and Commonwealth Office has invested in them. They have ties to them. So you need to situate yourself as somebody who, I am a potential leader. I am a change maker. I am somebody who will return to my country, will have this extensive network, and will be able to influence change in that network. So as much as you want something, they want something as well. And I think it's very important for you to keep that in mind, because you see what they're hammering over and over again, that we are investing in future leaders, decision makers, influencers around the world to support their studies in the UK. And that we have this reach, we have this extensive global network of influential alumni. That's what they want. They want to see that this person is worth betting on, because this person has a chance of potentially reaching this and this and this place. And it's not necessarily, again, although I would say yes, do they want presidents and prime ministers and all those? Yes, but it's not only those people that make changes. Even if it's a community leader that will actually have an innovation that will stop tapeworm in a small village, that too works. So what they do want, though, is to be able to say they are linked with somebody who is already doing the work, who is already doing some change, who is already active, making a difference. And then they're betting on that. So they're betting on an investment they can already see stands a chance. That's the difference between this being a scholarship, a program, fellowship for leaders, potential leaders, and something like the Commonwealth that is a scholarship for brilliant students from developing countries or from the former colonies. Can you go to the next slide, please, Marita? All right. So yes, that's what I was trying to hammer in, to know their why as well as your own, because you're going to have to sell yourself. If you know that, yes, they want to promote economic prosperity, so you getting a good job will obviously mean that they're contributing, because for as much as many citizens are employed and are working and are producing, the economy of the country prospers. Do they want to, I would say, do they want to do that? Is it a form of aid? This is a form of aid. And I would argue, honestly, that scholarships are the most sustainable form of aid, actually, the most useful form, because it actually gets to the individual, not to the government. But I would also say that it's necessary for you to understand that they are, again, using this for specific reasons. If you go to the Chevening website, or you go to UK and Cameroon website, that's the embassy's website, if you're Cameroonian, and you'll go to UK and Cameroon website, you'll see the UK policy for this country and for the countries that the UK embassies operate in. And they have certain strategies that Britain is great in this, in tourism, Britain is great in this, in scholarship. So they have a persona that they have to sell, and you are trying to appeal to that persona, knowing that's what you should know in the background, that this thing has operated for 42 years now, and in Cameroon for at least 38 years. It started off by, they would just cover your school fees, and you will need to pay for your housing and your feeding. You will need to show that you have a certain amount of money in your account to cover your housing and your feeding. The fellows needed to fundraise certain amounts. My year, 2014, was the first year when it was fully sponsored, that they will pay for everything, the school, the housing and feeding, the flights, everything was paid for. Like, we were the first, and they reduced it from like 4 fellows to 2 fellows so that they could do that for us that first year, 2014. And then subsequently, they've increased the numbers. But again, this is to say that you understand why they are investing. So from this, you should be able to know how to sell yourself. Are you somebody that is showing leadership potential? Are you somebody that is showing that if you bet on me, I'm coming back? and I'll be able to sell Chevening. I'll be able to be that link that you want, and that future global leaders that you want, so you can boast about me, boast about who you bet on. That's basically it. And Marita, you can go to the next slide, please. And just for example, these are the names that you'll see when Chevening actually says, oh, we have done so much great work, when they're talking about their 40th anniversary and 42 years of Chevening, this is all the impact we have had. They typically include the names of people like these politicians or these founders and these winners. And for example, in Cameroon, our current PM, or they'll call Acheleke Christian, they'll talk about Lundi Anomam, they'll talk about Felix Formignon, and the rest, those that have achieved certain acclaim, because that's actually the purpose of that fellowship. So I'll leave it for you for now, and probably come back later on after Patience had her turn. In the meantime, you can put any questions you want in the chat box, and I'll come back to this later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monique, for that solid background. With that being said, this is just again to encourage colleagues to kindly drop their questions if they have any, where you're joining us from, so we should have a little idea who we had for today.